Welcome to Sports Night in Auburn. I'm Taylor Strohmeyer.
And I'm Kayla Evans. Tonight we have a full packed show full of Auburn basketball, baseball, softball, and gymnastics. In the world of basketball, the Auburn Tigers have had a tough stretch these last couple of weeks, including upsetting losses to Baylor, Georgia, and Ole Miss. The Tigers' loss to Ole Miss was a nail-biter, as the Tigers and the Rebels gave fans free basketball with overtime and a game-winning buzzer-beater shot. The Tigers dominated most of the game and went into half, leading the Rebels 40-34, but when the Tigers stepped out of the locker room, they collapsed. With 16 minutes and 22 seconds remaining in the second half, Auburn gained their largest lead of the game, leading Ole Miss by 14. However, Ole Miss fought back, and a layup by Romello White ties the game at 72, which sent the matchup to overtime. White was a star for the Rebels, scoring 30 points. The Tigers and the Rebels battled it out in overtime, and freshman Sharif Cooper sunk a huge three-pointer with 13 seconds left to tie the game. But Ole Miss took advantage of those 13 seconds, and Devontae Shuler took the ball up court before knocking down an off-balance jumper at the buzzer to give the Rebels the 86-84 win.
The loss extended Auburn's losing streak to 3 and their overall record to 10-10. The Tigers scored 84 points against Ole Miss team that holds their opponents to a mere 62.2 points per game. The Tigers had 3 players who shot 16 points: Alan Flanagan, Devon Cambridge, and Jalen Williams. Head coach Bruce said that the issue isn't Auburn's offense, it's their defense. The Tigers allowed 2 Ole Miss players to score 25 or more, with Romello White dropping 30 and Devontae Shuler scoring 26. Pearl said, "If you can't guard, you can't win."
I asked the guys after the game just to do the little things, the basics. You score 84 points against a team that gives up 63 and is the number 2 defensive team. It's not our offense. It's our ability to defend. Defense, rebounding, toughness, strength, just getting pushed around. 5-point lead at the end of regulation, timeout. Stephen Pearl drew up both plays that they're going to run. Drew them both up. Here they are. Shuler set a back screen. We didn't stay sticky. He comes off of it, knocks down a 3-ball. And then they ran something else where they cleared us out and drove us downhill right with the right hand. So, can't guard, can't win. Well, it was great. He's a veteran player. The zone had been good for us. Again, when they ran that middle ball screen, we asked our guards to switch out. They didn't. They switched flat, which then let Shuler get to his spot. It's just simple things like that we probably could have, again, see what I look at is what we could have done better or differently, and a lot of it was stuff that we talked about doing we didn't do. Ole Miss got some real effort and energy plays. And their 2 best players were dominant tonight. But I thought overall we played well. I thought we did a lot of really good things. I thought the kids played hard. Down the stretch, obviously I told our guys even in timeouts, if we get beat, they'll say, well, they're older, more experienced, been there, done that. I said, let's not let that happen.
Sharif Cooper, who's responsible for the big-time 3 that tied the game in overtime, ended the night with 15 points and 14 assists. Cooper said Ole Miss performed better than Auburn in the second half, and that is why they got the win. He also addressed the issue of the team using their age as an excuse for losing, and said he disliked the excuse as they have played basketball most of their lives.
Just got to be better down the stretch. There's a couple plays. We got a good play, but we didn't execute as well as we could have, and had to force up a shot at the end. But just being better down the stretch, I feel like they were better than us in the second half, and that's why they won. No, I never liked that excuse anyway. It's still basketball. At the end of the day, we played it all our life just like they played it all their life. It's a different level, but we had a whole summer of practice. 12 games, 13 games in. That never was an excuse for me. So, we just take this loss on the chin and get ready for Tuesday, Vanderbilt. Get in the next play, we need 1 stop, and we get into a second overtime. We had a decent defensive possession. I felt like I watched it a bunch of times in the locker room. I feel like I could have jumped at the end. I tried to I was just staying in front. I kind of got a reach at it. I didn't want to foul him, so I tried to get my hands back. But no, he made a tough shot, and you just give him credit.
The Tigers finally broke their losing streak as Auburn defeated Vanderbilt in Nashville 73-67. While it wasn't pretty, the Tigers got the job done and have advanced to a 4-game winning streak against Vanderbilt for the first time since winning 6 straight from 1984 to 86. Leading the Tiger pack was Jamal Johnson and Sharif Cooper, who both scored 19 for the Orange and Blue Tuesday night. Johnson went 5 and 8 behind the arc and made 4 out of 5 free throws. Cooper has 7 assists and made 10 of his 11 free throws. The bench played a huge role in the Tigers' win, as 27 of the Tigers' points came from bench players.
Auburn got off to a slow start, shooting just 21% in the first half, but came out of the locker room a different team as they shot 51% to end the game. Johnson and Cooper were the stars of the game as Johnson saved the Tigers in the first half, scoring 13 and dropping 3 behind the arc. Cooper had a slow first half with just 1 point, but stepped up for the team in the second, scoring 18 points. Head coach Bruce Pearl was happy to get a win after losing 3 in a row. They scouted Vandy and decided to force them to shoot the 2 instead of the 3. Pearl said the team played better the second half, and he was much happier with their shooting percentage.
It's great to get a win on the road in the league. Got to fight through some adversity. I think some of it is, was a little self-inflicted. Our scouting report was to make them tough twos and not give them the 3 ball. And you know what? Early on they did. I think Coach Stackhouse knew what the scouting report was going to be, and they took advantage of it early. But then after that, we were able to kind of settle down, and they missed a lot of shots that we thought they would miss, and didn't let Pippen be a playmaker. He's really good as a playmaker. In the second half, we shot the ball better. From 3, we got better looks. We were 6 of 9, and they played a little bit of zone. A couple possessions of zone, and we hurt him, with some shots. We got into the bonus, and we made free throws. And then, I thought our guys did a pretty good job of getting on the offensive glass. Jalen Williams rebounded the ball really well. Alan Flanagan with 7 defensive rebounds, was really key for us, tonight. Al played really good defense, as our guards. I thought our guards picked it up in a big way defensively, and we needed to. Made progress tonight in that regard. So it was a good win, but we made a little progress with our defense. Offensively, way too many turnovers, and we didn't execute very well. So, got to play a lot better if we're going to win again.
Jamal Johnson, who was a star player Tuesday night, said it's normal for teams to have a slow start, but then picking up the pace allowed them to win. He praised his teammate Sharif Cooper and how having him on the team has helped dramatically.
I feel like sometimes you start off slow. Teams start off slow, but then once you get in the groove of things, everybody keep clicking, and you keep going, keep grinding, and keep working, everything's gonna work out. Coach Pearl, this last couple of days, has been telling us that they're like the second leading team in offensive efficiency or something. They're a great offensive team regardless, but so he's been harping on that. So we're trying to take pride in our defense and practice and focus mainly on that. But we started off a little slow, but I think we picked it up, and we ended up being able to, stop them from what they're doing and help our team be able to do a great job of stopping them. Yeah, Sharif, he gonna have the ball in his hands at the end of the game. So to be able to just control the ball and control the tempo and make free throws at the end of the game, close game, that's just a plus. He does a great job. Every game he's been back, he's did a great job of leading our team to victories and helping us grow as a team. And he's did a great job. And having him has just been a blessing for him. So Dev's been doing a great job of just making shots, playing defense, energizing us with blocks. He does a lot. Like I said, in the offseason, he was a hard worker in the offseason, and he's proven. And from last year to this year, he's had a huge jump, and I'm proud of him. And he's been doing a great job for us and helping us win games.
The Tigers are back in action this Saturday as they travel to Kentucky to take on the Wildcats in Rupp Arena. The Tigers defeated the Wildcats 66-59 earlier in the season and are looking for a sweep against this blue blood team. Despite Kentucky being a basketball dynasty, the Wildcats are having a rough year as they have a 5-13 record and are currently in a 4-game losing streak. Coverage for the matchup can be found on CBS, and tip-off is set for 12 p.m. Central Time.
On the women's side of basketball, the Tigers fell to Mizzou Sunday despite a career high by Honesty Scott Grayson. The Tigers struggled early on, falling behind 31-17 after quarter one. Head coach Terry Williams-Flournoy chalked it up to a lack of defensive strength. In the second period of the play, the narrative began to change. Despite Missouri's red-hot shooting and refusal to stop finding ways to score, Honesty Scott Grayson led the Auburn charge and began to chip away at what was once a 14-point lead, bringing the game to within 3 before heading into the locker room.
As Mizzou was up by 3 at half, they quickly extended that lead and soon led the Tigers by 19, but Auburn kept fighting back as Scott Grayson kept sinking shots. While Scott Grayson had a career-high 30 points on Sunday, it was not enough, and Auburn eventually fell to Mizzou 85-75. Auburn returns to action with a Tiger-Dog matchup Thursday, February 11th, where they'll take on Georgia at Stegman Coliseum in Athens. Tip-off is set for 6 p.m. and coverage can be found on SEC Network Plus. Despite the Tigers being 5-13, senior Unique Thompson is having a record season and keeps racking up the accolades. She was selected as one of the 30 athletes for the 2021 Senior Class Award, which was announced Tuesday. The Senior Class Award, an acronym for celebrating loyalty and achievement for staying in school, focuses on the student-athlete and encourages students to use their platform to make a positive impact as leaders in their communities. To be eligible for the student award, a student-athlete must be an NCAA Division I senior and have achievements in these 4 areas of excellence: community, classroom, character, and competition. She leads the country in rebounds with 13.5 per game and offensive rebounds with 5.7 per game. She also leads the SEC in double-doubles with 12. Thompson is Auburn's leading scorer with at least 20 points and 20 rebounds. Thompson is the first Auburn player to hold this feat since 1993. The senior enters the week just 27 shy of the Auburn record for rebounds, which is currently held by Becky Johnson at 1,118. The 30 candidates will be narrowed to 10 in late February, with winners set to be announced at the 2021 NCAA Final Four later this spring.
When we come back, we will take a look at how gymnastics did last Friday and what baseball and softball are up to. Keep it right here. You're watching Sports Night in Auburn. Auburn welcomed in the number 2 ranked Tigers of the Bayou Friday night for a showdown on the mat, and they did not disappoint. Despite falling to LSU 197.550 to 197.075, Auburn put constant pressure on the top-ranked team. The Tigers clinched a season-high team to score Friday, with many gymnasts racking up the season and career best as well. Drew Watson started the night off strong with a career best on vault with 9.875. Darian Goburn also performed well, scoring a 9.900 on vault and a career 9.975 on floor. Watson performed well on beam 2, scoring a 9.85. Adeline Zabatos had a nice performance as well, securing a 9.8 on vault to start the night. Arya Bruce returned to the floor Friday after missing the last week due to an injury and put out a solid bars performance, scoring a 9.9. Of the Tigers' 24 routines Friday, Auburn saw 18 of them set season or career bests. Auburn will return to the mat this Friday, where they will take on Mizzou in Columbia, Missouri at 8 p.m.
Junior Darian Goburn earned SEC honors this week as she was named an SEC Specialist of the Week. Her performance helped Auburn break the 197 mark for the first time since 2019. Goburn started off strong, posting a season-best 9.9 on vault, and followed the event with a 9.9 on bars, both of which were high enough to secure event titles for the night. Goburn continued to shine as she went to floor and posted a career-high 9.975 and got a 10 from one judge. Despite a record-breaking night, Goburn graded her performance a B+, saying, "I feel like I left some things there. I gave it my all on floor, but I still have upgrades, so I feel like I have a lot more in the tank."
Baseball season is quickly approaching, and head coach Butch Thompson and his Tigers are eagerly awaiting opening day. Thompson said they are slowly playing more innings and the players are starting to hit and play better. He says the pitchers are slowly adjusting to pitching in real game situations and they are having to adjust and get their arms ready for opening day. Thompson announced Tuesday that pitcher Jack Owen has a dislocated finger and is expected to miss a couple of weeks. Mason Barnett looks to be the next man up, but only time will tell.
I'd still like to play a few more innings, so that's been a little bit slow, and I think I have to attribute a little bit of that to our offense. I just think our guys are having good at-bats, longer at-bats, and you're right, getting these pitchers to ramp up, but it's probably shortened our innings. The second outing this past weekend, and the arms looked like they were underwater a little bit, just that recovery from being broken down from throwing live that first time, so it was a little slower. Traditionally, after that second outing, we really push that start-to-start program that they really need to dig in and work like none other, and you can start setting a course for the season. So Cody Greenhill's progressing nicely. Richard Fitz, Mason Barnett, that's a guy we've probably advertised to you guys and to our fans and to our team as a potential closer type, and a Jack Owen. That would be the one negative report to bring to you this morning is a dislocated finger that was probably going to knock him out a couple of weeks. I still think there's some players in our program that people don't know yet, and that's probably going to be the case and happen in other programs around. But when you say you got to go out and play a few games to start figuring your team out and what others look like, I mean it more than ever. So we're preparing with catching like never before, because you can't just go to a lot of your roster and say, hey, why don't you go put that gear on and go back there and you start catching 95 miles per hour. It doesn't really work that way. So I think we're more than one catcher. We're catching Nate LaRue's probably in that one spot right now. Ryan Dowell is that second piece right now. Nate's right-handed. Dowell's left-handed. So we think those two guys can really, really help us. So I think we're going to hit more because we hit more. We had 2 cages, now we have 4 cages, and the thing's so beautiful. We're excited. I'm thankful to those 64 families that have done this and invested in our program and in our players, and I think it's going to make a huge difference.
Opening day is Friday, February 19th, and Butch Thompson and his Auburn Tigers will open their season with a 3-game series against Presbyterian. First pitch is set for 4 p.m. Auburn season ticket holders will have first priority on tickets this season, and single-game tickets will be available to the public after that. Students will receive an email within the upcoming week with details on how they can attend the Tigers opening series.
Softball starts this Saturday, and the Tigers are making their last-minute adjustments for the 2021 season. Auburn has 5 players who returned to play this year, as they were granted an extra year of eligibility due to the COVID-19 pandemic that cut their last season short. In the offseason, the Tigers also added 9 new athletes to the roster, and head coach Mickey Dean said, "We wanted to improve in every area. We went out knowing this is going to be a big year for us as far as really putting things together. We had everything we wanted in this class: pitching, speed, power." Dean declined to say who would be starting on the mound this weekend, but said, "We're in a pretty good position right now, pitching-wise. We're pretty deep. We've got 5 young ladies that I think could pitch anywhere. They have the ability to do so, and they're all very different from each other." Dean is confident in his team and believes their position depth will keep them motivated. Dean and the rest of the Auburn Tigers will show off their skills and depth Saturday, February 13th at Jane B. Moore Field as they take on Southeast Missouri State for a 3-game series. First pitch is set for 12 p.m. Central Time. The game will be broadcasted on SEC Network.
Auburn Soccer announced their spring 2021 schedule last week, and the Tigers will play 8 games, 4 home and 4 on the road. Auburn will kick off their season against Kennesaw State Friday, February 19th at the Auburn Soccer Complex at 5 p.m. The Tigers will then play LSU February 26th at home. The Tigers will travel for the first time this season and take on Clemson in South Carolina March 6th at 1 p.m. Auburn will return back to the Auburn Soccer Complex March 13th as they host Georgia at 1 p.m. Auburn will then play back-to-back away games as they take on Louisville and Alabama. Auburn wraps up their home feat against South Alabama Friday, April 3rd. That game will begin at 1 p.m. The Tigers will end their season against Virginia Tech in Bradenton, Florida at 6 p.m. The NCAA tournament will begin after the spring season with first and second rounds set to be played at host sites from April 23rd to 25th. The next round will be played April 30th to May 2nd, with quarterfinals May 7th through 9th, and the College Cup May 13th through 17th in Cary, North Carolina. Dates, times, and opponents are subject to change due to the ongoing pandemic and will be dependent on the state and local recommendations. When we come back, we will take a look at Auburn players in the Super Bowl and some exciting new news about Athletic Director Alan Green. Keep it right here. You're watching Sports Night in Auburn. Two Auburn players are now Super Bowl champs, along with the rest of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Jamel Dean and Carlton Davis, who were teammates at Auburn, now share the biggest title a football player could dream of. Carlton Davis, a true freshman starter in 2015, played cornerback for the Tigers for 3 seasons and 38 games. He had 138 career tackles at Auburn and 3 interceptions. Davis started on the secondary for the Bucs, and he made 4 tackles on defense and 1 on special teams. Kansas City quarterback Patrick Mahomes threw at Davis 4 times, and he allowed 2 receptions for 14 yards. Jamel Dean played for Auburn football for 2 seasons in 2017 and 2018, after being redshirted in 2015 and injured in 2016. Dean also started at cornerback and racked up 73 total tackles as well as 2 interceptions. Dean started for Tampa Bay secondary and made 4 tackles and broke up a pass. Dean and Davis celebrated with their team this morning as the Tampa Bay Bucs had their Super Bowl parade. With the COVID pandemic, the Bucs got creative and had a boat parade along the Tampa Bay Riverwalk.
Auburn University Athletic Director Alan Green is one of 5 individuals being honored by the NCAA Minority Opportunities and Interest Committee. The award, Champion of Diversity and Inclusion, is dedicated to those who work in supporting ethnic minorities and other underrepresented groups and individuals. What a tremendous honor to be recognized by the NCAA via the Minority Opportunities and Interest Committee, Green said. The acknowledgement of an individual's impact is the result of an impact of many, whereby the desire for change is stronger than the desire for one's personal gain. Green is also co-chair of the Black AD Alliance, which was formed last summer to create more opportunities for ethnic minorities at administrative levels in Division I athletics. The recipients for the committee were chosen based on how they promote diversity and inclusion, how they assist in diversifying pipeline opportunities in their influential position, how they provide support to underrepresented populations, and their consistency supporting diversity and inclusion initiatives. That's all for Sports Night in Auburn, but for more Auburn sports, head to our website, eagleeyeauburn.com, where we'll have everything you need to know to stay up to date on Auburn sports. I'm Taylor Strohmeyer.
And I'm Kayla Evans. For even more sports, follow our Twitter at EETV_sports and follow our Instagram at EagleEyeTV. Good night and War Eagle.